Welcome to the Tuesday edition of Juan's World. And yeah, I am a little bit back in the saddle again after Friday. I thought, okay, we'll do another one. And I noticed that this is number 299, which means I have to do something relatively spectacular, I suppose, for 300. Not sure, but that'll be Friday. And then we'll see from there. But for now, I'm not doing too much in the way of publishing stuff because I'm mostly waiting for copy edits to come back, and so I've got a little bit of free time. And so today I'm going to make a dish that I invented, or at least sort of invented. It's a take on cauliflower cheese. Now, cauliflower cheese was an old favorite in my youth. My mother used to make it every couple of times a month. That is, you parboil a head of cauliflower, break it up, put it in a casserole with some bechamel sauce and cheese, and bake it, and there's a cheap dinner. Well, my sister sent me for my birthday a packet soup, what they used to call a cup of soup in the United States, and it was broccoli and Stilton, and it was pretty good. The Stilton could have been a little stronger, but it was okay, and that was a good soup. I had a couple of packets of it, and then the other day I thought, well, I need to be eating more broccoli, more green vegetables in general, just for my health. So I got some broccoli, and I had some blue cheese, and I thought, okay, well, why not make an equivalent of cauliflower cheese with broccoli and blue cheese? And this is the result. So let's take a look. As with cauliflower cheese, your first step is to make some kind of sauce, a bechamel sauce or white sauce, then flavored with your cheese. And so in this case, I originally had bought some heavy cream because I thought, yeah, okay, well, we'll do some good with the broccoli and then undo it with the heavy cream. But I decided again to just use whole milk and make a traditional bechamel sauce, which I think I've shown in another video. If I haven't, I'll get around to it at some point. Bechamel, of course, is one of the classic French sauces, the milk sauce. Although in this case, you don't want to add the additional flavorings that you would for a classic bechamel, like nutmeg. You just want a plain white sauce, which the cheese will then contribute to. And what I would have loved to do is to use a really great marbled blue cheese or green cheese like Roquefort or Gorgonzola or Stilton. They're great cheeses, but I can't get them in Cambodia. I thought I could the other day when I was tinkering around in an Australian-owned supermarket, which has a lot of British and Australian stuff, but sadly no Stilton, no Gorgonzola, no Roquefort. But I'll keep looking. There's another place where I can perhaps get Roquefort. Anyway, for now I just used a Danish blue cheese, which is a little bit easier to get hold of. Not terribly easy because Asians are mostly lactose intolerant, so they don't really like cheese in general, and they really don't like stinky cheeses. so they're hard to get, but you can get small packets of Danish blue. All right, so first step was to make a white roux of butter and flour, and add milk to make the bechamel, and then I crumbled up the blue cheese and added it, and you can see here in the skillet the blue cheese is a little bit lumpy still, but I'm melting it down and just getting everything blended together to make a nice thick sauce. It needs to be thick, and in fact you'll find that with the broccoli, more than even with cauliflower, when you start baking it, it's going to dilute the sauce somewhat, because the broccoli is going to have water in it that bakes out. So you need a really good thick sauce, and then your next step is going to be to parboil the broccoli flowerlets. Now this step takes no time at all, and if you've got a steamer, you can even steam rather than simmer the flowerlets. Now, so you take the head of the broccoli and you just cut off the individual stalks so that you have flowerlets that you can then place either in boiling water or in a steamer. Just a few minutes at most. Just you're not trying to really cook it, you're just trying to soften a little bit. The texture of the final dish is very much going to be dependent on how long you cook the broccoli for, and it's going to bake anyway, so all you need to do is just parboil and then place in a casserole. And in this case I added some leeks because I thought that leeks and broccoli would go very well together, and a very few oriental mushrooms as well. So that's my basis. In fact, after the broccoli heads here in Cambodia are not very big, so I ended up with 2, but if you have a decent sized broccoli head, then 1 will be fine. Then pour over the bechamel sauce with the blue cheese in it, so that you basically cover the broccoli. And then what I did was I topped with shredded mozzarella. So it's like double cheese. And if you wanted to be, really serious, you could add different cheeses. You could add Parmigiano Reggiano on top of that, or whatever. But anyway, I added some shredded mozzarella on the top, and then in a very, very hot oven with both the broiler and the bottom working full speed, so that the casserole cooks all the way through, and at the same time the top melts the cheese and becomes nice and golden brown. And this is the finished product, and it was delightful. Not vegan, of course, because it's got animal products in it, but old-fashioned vegetarian certainly, and good for your heart. Lots of green veggie stuff and fiber and whatnot, and even the milk fat is good for you in limited quantities. So I had this, actually in the end I ended up eating it for 3 days because it was quite filling. So there's my recipe for this week. The 300th edition on Friday, not sure about yet. Might be about travel, could be another cooking video, could be philosophy, don't know. But meanwhile, please tell your friends about my videos. Please like, please subscribe, and have a wonderful week.